Welcome to Lethbridge Got Talent, a celebration of young talent, passion, right here in the heart of Lethbridge. In small town like ours, supporting youth talent takes a special significance. These talented performers, they've poured their hearts and souls into their craft to overcome challenges and chase their dreams. So from breathtaking performances on stage to heartwarming personal anecdotes, we'll witness the awe-inspiring talents of these young stars. So join us as we shine a spotlight on the incredible talent right here in Lethbridge.
My older sister, she's a dancer, and when I saw her on stage, I knew just at that moment I want to do this. So I've been dancing for about 5 years at Van Dance, and it's been pretty good. So I just wanted to personally choreograph my own dance and see how I do on my own, like outside of a studio, you know? It's like a different way of expressing yourself, you know? There's this saying that like, when you don't know what to say, you sing, and when you don't know what to sing, you dance. And so I feel like it's the most emotional, and it just speaks to like a part of the human mind that no one really understands, you know?
I think any form of artistic expression is super important to have in anyone's life, no matter how creative you think you are or aren't. It's always a form of expression that anyone can use when you don't have the words maybe to say anything. And I think dance especially is a huge way of being able to express yourself when you don't have the words to say it, even if you're flailing around in your bedroom to some music. So being able to have kind of that outlet in Lethbridge and being able to take classes or share that experience with other people is a nice way to build community and share something with other people that you might not have thought you would have. A little bit more control right now. You're like hitting the spots, but they're not almost clear enough. Yeah. So can we just start from the beginning? I'll just count slowly. Okay. 6, 7, 8.
I just want to work in my own community. I mean, it's given a lot to me and I want to give back. Being a dancer is about finding your people, so that's just what I'm trying to do. Just to like inspire people, and when people see me after a performance and like, wow, you did a great job, you know, like, oh, my son, my daughter, she decided to dance because she saw you on stage. That's like the best feeling for me, and I just want to do that more.
I can build up a dancer, whether they're just starting out or they're further along in their journey, but I can't really give them the passion. They kind of have to come with it.
I feel like I started behind in my dance studio because most people did ballet and I didn't, so I didn't have that foundation. But I've been really working towards putting myself out there and being a very unique dancer, because I realize that the people that I take inspiration from and the people that I enjoy watching dance, they're very much themselves on stage, and that's what I want to do.
I think starting off late or a little bit later in the game and not having ballet as his main kind of dance genre, coming in a little bit later in the game, I know it's harder for dancers to get to that competitive level, and so knowing that he's only been dancing for 5 years and is continuously pushing himself and is at the level he is now, it's quite impressive.
6, 7, go. That's better.
I don't know what to do with awkwardness. I think it's just something about dripping in Dior, but I felt like this was awkward.
Try it. Let's just see it. It might be really awkward, but see it. Yeah, it is awkward.
What if you just take it and hold your shirt and just keep it in the one spot maybe? Because then we get that like dripping Dior effect, but you're not having to think about your arms and your legs at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, that is it.
I've been a little bit anxious, but I'm really glad that I got to work with 2 very talented dancers who like showed me what I need to do to improve, so that way I have a different set of eyes on what I'm doing.
2, 3, 4.
Make sure they hit something. They don't just like, there's a lot of energy, but they kind of like go nowhere, if that makes sense. So like, make sure you like stop it at a certain point, and then that pressure she's talking about, and then like play with it a little bit.
Ready, 6, 7, 8. 1,
nice for you to wait to like your heel.
Yeah. Ready, 6, 7, 8, kick, kick, mouth,
Heel.
kick, kick, mouth.
Good.
More mouth. Really, you have the time for it to resist into it. Ready, 6, 7, 8, kick and mouth, kick and mouth. That's better. Now arms. Ready, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's do that again.
Ready, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love being able to work with people and be able to share the knowledge that I've gained through working with other choreographers and other teachers and mentors, and be able to share what I've learned with them to hopefully further their dance potential and further their knowledge so that they can further that and spread it to other people. It was great working with him. He's an amazing dancer. I can see all of the energy and work that he puts into all of his moves. It was nice being able to come in and see a dancer I've never seen before and share what I know with them, and seeing them take those corrections and add it in and see that those dance moves be enhanced by what we ended up cleaning. Here. Yeah. Even hitting these two, like super straight arms, super clear pathway will make it cleaner. Can I see that? 6, 7, 8. 1.
Every like judge and fellow dancer I've talked to says I have like really high energy. Like, I really feel it in my dances. Like, it doesn't matter if it's 3-4 minutes long, you know, I always try to keep that up the whole dance. And I definitely try to play around a lot with every like way I'm moving, I guess.
So the first thing he says is put the bass in the million. That's when I want to go down and do some break dancing. It's just I haven't done that since like grade 3, so I don't exactly know what to do. So I'm thinking like, I don't know, fall and then do some break dancing, you know, razzle dazzle, get back up, then do the rest.
I think there needs to be like more of an open space for youth, especially even those that are already in dances. They don't necessarily get to stop by the studio and practice whenever they want. So just a space more than your living room is a great place to start. Money is always going to be a challenge. I think like dance sometimes can get to be an expensive sport, especially if you take it up as a competitive art or sport. There's costumes, tights that need to be paid for, classes, private classes, competition fees, hotels, everything. So finances is definitely a top tier of struggles, and then other parts are also like their bodies. Sometimes they're physically held back because of either flexibility or kind of any kind of disabilities that they might have. And as well as like learning to take it up at a certain time, because it does affect how much you can compete and move on with the sport if you come in a little bit too late. Personally, mine was coming from, I think, a different background, has a lot to do with my struggles. I'm a very tiny person, and so for teachers and choreographers trying to place me and knowing where to place me in group numbers, or even just like working with me in my body, is a little bit like of a challenge for me. I am a little bit curvier too, and I was more of a ballet dancer, and so having those extra curves and everything isn't always like, it's not perceived as like the perfect kind of ballet image or like ballerina image.
Any start is a good start, and just kind of going for it. If you say you want to do something and then you're just like scared to do it, it's never going to go anywhere. If you just put yourself out there and step outside your comfort zone, you're going to make it somewhere eventually. You're going to see that progress go upwards as long as you're working for it.
Hard it'll be sometimes, or knowing kind of your limits and knowing that it'll take time and to just not give up and to honestly remember why you started in the first place?
I would never have become the dancer I am today if I didn't step out of my comfort zone a million times over and over again. So no matter how scared you are to try something or do something, the worst that can happen is you're gonna mess it up and learn from that and then try again. Being able to push yourself to places you never would have thought is going to build you as a person. It can't do anything to inhibit you. No matter what, if you're scared of failure, you're always going to be able to learn from that. And I think that's a huge thing, is being able to take those learning experiences to grow yourself as a person, as a dancer, as an artist.
I think it's still, yeah, it's still slightly, yeah.
It's so weird. Usually I get late dances and you're like, that's so small. Make it bigger.
I know, you're like, you have like the best effect though. Yeah, yeah, like we want to be able to scale people down, but like it's usually like building them up. But you have like so much energy that you're like, harness it now.
Even smaller. And keep this on.
Keep your hips up here. Yeah. Don't twist your hip.
That's better.
Yeah.
Do it one more time just to lock it in.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8. Hit. Even more.
Better, but
Hit.
yeah.
But yeah, better.
Yeah.
6, 7, and hit.
It, like almost think of like it as individual pictures and like hit instead of like a gradual thing.
Yeah.
Ready, 6, 7, 8. Hit. It's the last one.
Yeah.
That one is the one we're missing. Ready, 6, 7, and hit.
Better.
Even more. I think you're almost.
What's the second one? What's the second arm on top of each other?
Yeah.
Make sure it gets there.
Okay.
Ready? Do it again. 6.
Ready, 6, 7, 8. Hit. Still this one.
Yeah.
Behind you.
Since the third song isn't choreographed, there are definitely going to be some surprises, so I'm excited for that. And I do want to work on something that brings a, wow factor, something to remember me by. I'm hoping that more people will realize that, I'm like a force to be reckoned with, and just hire me to work more in the community.
Whether you're competing in the talent show or coming to watch it or whatever, any participation in that I think is going to spark some sort of creativity or kind of passion for any sort of the arts. And I think it's good to be showcasing the arts in Lethbridge and be able to have that space where people can show their talents and express themselves and inspire others along the way.
It provides an inspiration for not just youth, but anyone of any age. Seeing someone be brave enough to go out there and perform and do what they love to do is something that sometimes everyone kind of needs, like a little nudge or step to pursue what they may or may not think that they can pursue.
I am Macy. I will be singing and playing guitar, and I'll be playing an original song. I think singing, especially with songwriting, it's a really good way to let out your emotions, and you can say things through music that you never would otherwise. It's that's something I've always loved about it, and you really just get to be whatever you want, and people can't judge you because you're singing. So, and as long as your voice sounds good, what can they do, I like writing about my problems. That's kind of what started it, because everybody's got issues and you gotta let them out somehow. And sometimes it seems like you don't really have one of those people that you can go and tell all of your feelings. So just writing them down. So lots of my songs, if you were to look through my notebook, it's mostly sad songs because that's what I feel sometimes, but the one I'm performing is actually an upbeat one, so it's good. Actually, sort of. Like it's not depressing, so I would call that pretty good. I feel like there wasn't ever really anything that got me into it. I was already just in it because my family's really musical, and my mom kind of likes to take credit of my voice a little bit because she's like, oh, we sang you to sleep every single night, so you were just, it was in the environment and you just picked it up and got it. And so yeah, it's just ever since I could talk, basically.
Macy. Hi, Macy. I watched your audition tape and I listened to it, and it was a lovely song. You're a really great songwriter. You have a really bright, expressive voice, and I'm excited to work on your songs with you. I'm wondering how long you've been singing for and what got you into performing in the first place.
I've been singing basically since I left the womb. I kind of like started taking voice in like grade 3, and it was kind of like on and off since then, but yeah. What got me into it is, I don't know, it's just always been in my life. Like my family is all really musical, and my parents like sang me to sleep every night, so I just was exposed to it, and I loved it. So.
Nice. That's lovely. And what song are we working on today?
It's called Vegas Cowboy.
Vegas Cowboy.
And it's not a country song. So
Not a country
it's
song.
Funny, but
well, anything could be a country song if you really want it to be. No, just kidding. Okay, let's get our headphones on, and will you just play it through for me? To start off.
we're different country. A fun time, a distant memory. Even though I'd love so much to be friends, distance brings a natural end. Oh, you're just a Vegas cowboy, distant memory. Tell stories, high standards. All the things we wish we were. It makes you feel so special. It's too bad he'll never call. Oh, you're just a Vegas cowboy, different country. A fun time, a distant memory. Even though you're practically perfect in every way.
Yeah, my dream ultimately is Broadway because I love musical theater. But I mean, I would also love to be able to like write my own songs, sing them, record them, have them on like all streaming platforms, and like, I mean, one or the other, or both, honestly, that would be amazing. So,
Get money too, right?
exactly, get paid to do something you love to do. So, it seems like a win. I think the main message I try to get across is that like really you can just tell people how you feel, because I mean lots of people go through the same things but they just don't know because you don't tell them. So when I wrote Idealist, for example, that was like a lot of what I was feeling about like how hard it is to like have such a like big ideas and big dreams and then just think it's too unrealistic. And so I don't know, I just want people to notice that there are people like them, and so somebody's just got to be brave enough to say it.
Because like we really only hung out like one time, and it was like super fun, and so that's like how I'm remembering him as, is just like that one moment, you know?
Yeah.
But.
And then this one, tell stories, high standards. I feel like tall stories would.
My motivation is, I don't know, it just makes me happy whenever I sing, and it's like whenever I even take a break from singing, I notice it's gone. Like sometimes I can go months without like singing in the car or something, and I'm like, dang, why am I doing that? Like I'm missing out. What is this? And so then I always get back into it. It just draws me back. I would say, like, the biggest part about me and what makes, I guess, I don't know if it really makes me unique, but I like to think it does, is I don't really do anything unless I do it really well. So, I mean, that kind of seems like, that actually sounds bad in this competition sense, because then if I don't win, then you're like, what the heck? But, like, in school, I always strive to get really good grades, and when I played sports, I'd always want to be, like, the best. So, I mean, it's a bit of a problem, but I am a hard worker, and so you know that I'm never just going to give 10%.
Yeah, sure.
If that's possible.
Yeah.
See.
Okay. And yeah. Okay.
Perfect hair, smile.
Sorry, let's start over. Start now.
Perfect hair, smiling eye. The distance makes me want to cry. The only one who's been like that. You. Far away, not coming back. Now you're just a.
Does it go here?
Practice.
Like, I don't really work on my music with other people. I just, like, do it, and then I post on Instagram, and then people are like, whoa, so then it just appears out of nowhere. But it's nice to, like, collaborate with people so that it can be the best it can be.
Yeah, those were the only lyric changes I thought about. Maybe adding another line after these ones.
Okay.
Or so we can, like, kind of build it up a bit more right here, to bring it back down into, like, I've accepted this and I'm letting you go, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So what, like, because you were saying before the camera started rolling, you were saying that the lyrics, like, you weren't confident in them.
Well, the only thing is, like, my last song, it was kind of like something that other people could experience, and it's kind of like, I don't know.
I was inspired to try out for this competition just because, I don't know, it just really stuck out to me because, especially just with the record label kind of thing, I've always wanted to be able to have my own songs and, like, become famous. And so I was just like, wow, imagine if that could actually happen, so might as well try, you know? It would definitely help my pride. It would make me feel very good about myself. But also, like, in all the aspects, like, you get money, and I have to pay for my own dance lessons and, like, voice and stuff, and so really I would just take that money to help me develop my talents more. And then also it would just be super cool to be able to, like, have people, like, see me and be able to kind of get out there in the world and, like, performing. So I just thought that would be really cool. I don't even live in Lethbridge, so it's really hard to, like, do things because there aren't, like, as many professionals and stuff in the area, or, like, even just places to perform and stuff. So it's kind of just, yeah, difficult to just get out there. That's why I've just been using Instagram and stuff to share my music until now.
I'm Makayla. I love singing. I love music. I started singing when I was probably as soon as I can talk. It was kind of just something natural. It wasn't really something I had to build on, right? So yeah, I've been writing songs since I was about 8 years old. Yeah. I always wanted to, in life, if there was one thing I wanted to do, my dream would be to be an artist. And it's really hard to do that in Lethbridge because Lethbridge is really small. And I was like, you know, if I take this opportunity, it's a win or lose, but a win-win because I tried, so it's fine. And I did, and now I'm here, and I'm really happy, and I'm proud, and it's a big moment. So it was cool. I really just thought about getting out there and trying is the biggest part. Even if I don't win, I tried, and I got the experience. I'm here. It was pretty awesome, yeah.
So when was the first time you remembered like being on a stage or in front of people and it like sort of clicked that you wanted to continue doing this?
Probably when I was like 10.
I was 10 years old, there was a school talent show, and I sang Happy by Pharrell Williams, and I really liked it, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Singing, especially me singing my own like original songs, it gives me a sense of like kind of control, because then I can write how I feel. Because I can't really, it's hard for me to talk about my feelings, but if you give me a sheet of music and a piano, I can write them all, and it's amazing. I really love the way music makes me feel.
Okay, I'm not a pro piano player.
No, go for it. Better than me.
Okay. Saw your name in shining lights in my head, but I push you out aside. Saw the pain in my own eyes. Wouldn't risk you for. Took the summer just to think and pray. But your name just simply had to stay. And I'm thinking of you every day. Then I saw you and my heart just slipped away. And this is where I don't really.
Usually with my songs, most of them is just me feeling lonely in the moment, but throughout the verses you can tell that it's kind of me opening up now and realizing that I'm not lonely and I'm actually very included. So yeah, that's what most of my songs are about. They're those odd ones about friendships or family life, but that's what most of it is about.
We know that you're missing, you know, you're thinking, so this is like I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
And this is like delving into asking if there's any second thoughts about
Like kind of that we're like on the same page. Does that
yeah.
make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's something that I hope. That's one thing I really love about myself. I think Makayla's also a great listener, and she loves people at times. It depends. She loves people though. And she writes about those people and even the people that she doesn't like, so.
Guess we both ran away and disappeared. Cause I missed the way we laughed and talked last year. When I doubted your move, I kinda miss you too. I guess I knew. And you still remember me. I found it hard to agree. And now the signs are clear. Your name feels like us last year.
Awesome. It was like I just love the more opinions, the better it is, and I love the fact that she helped me out. She really brought my music more to life and gave me ideas, and I really love that, so I'm definitely going to be working on it.
Because like for this to be the chorus, it needs to be shorter, I think, and then it won't be pre-chorus anymore, and it could just be the chorus.
Okay.
When I doubt to move, I gotta miss you too. I guess I knew, but you still remember me. Let's go from the slipped away. And we'll run with that.
Okay. I might do a line before that.
Skipping a last beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is totally normal to do, but you gotta let the song breathe. Yeah. And that's okay. Okay. To have that extra beat, and it's necessary.
Can we start from the top of this one?
Yep.
Okay.
Again, and like progress down the song, so you like concrete every piece, you know? Yeah. Okay.
It's helped me, like, again, how I write on my experiences, it's helped me kind of evolve my vocabulary in the music industry, I guess. Does that make sense? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's kind of helped me experience more, which helps me write more. So then I can write about how I was in the studio one day, or how I met some of these awesome other artists here. And yeah, it can just, honestly, it just helps me all around, and my people skills too. My goal, well, I mean, the dream would be to actually be an artist in the music industry, but that industry is small and really hard to get to. So if I did, just like the goal is to definitely release an album before I'm 20, even if it's like not serious, just at least release one. Yeah, probably consistency in my own personal like development. Like I could take all this information right now, go home and not use it at all, but now I actually have to. And yeah, so consistency, probably. I need to be practicing daily. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. Or like, okay, I know this sounds really odd, but like people you know, and they're like, oh, I saw you in that thing. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Like, it's like it's awkward, but like I'm proud, but like, don't talk to me about it, you know? Yeah. Everybody kind of knows everybody, but that also means that if everybody knows everybody, there's not a lot of other people. So yeah, and again, not only in Lethbridge, but a lot of writers get writer's block, and that sucks. And that can like cause you to like stop writing the entire song and just throw it away, and you're like, ugh, 3 days of what? And it just goes, and it's really annoying. But yeah, in Lethbridge overall, it would just be the lack of options you have, I guess. For a rising artist, for a rising star, I don't think it would be that easy because of the challenges like not having a studio or not having a producer or stuff like that, where you can find in bigger cities in Alberta or anywhere.